Japan Travel Smart Podcast is an original standalone media project. We remain unaffiliated with any travel agency service or similar commercial venture. This is Japan Travel Smart. My name's Johnny, and I hope you join me to discover a better Japan travel experience. Welcome back to Japan Travel Smart. This is your travel companion Johnny, and this is journey number 22. Smart to visit, Northern Tohoku, Aomori and Akita prefectures. Japan Travel Smart is a bi-weekly podcast all about the joy of travel through Japan, far and wide, from the perspective of a frequent visitor who just can't get enough of the place that does it best. This is your one-stop shop for the very best of Japan travel, including novel advice and Japan-specific tips to keep you ahead of the game. We cater to first-time and repeat Japan visitors alike in hopes of making the country shine at its very best, regardless of interest, budget, or time of year. We continue our Smart to Visit series by returning to the Tohoku region on one of our most eclectic trip reports yet. This time, it's the turn of two of the most attractive prefectures in the northmost part of Honshu main island. We're going to discover a city internationally famous for its grand summer festival event, travel to a secluded location of worship and contemplation, visit castle towns and towns of preserved samurai houses, ride on a sightseeing train along a scenic coast, get familiar with the folklore intrinsic of a whole region, spectate an exhilarating fireworks festival attended by tens of thousands, and relax in a remote mountain onsen location. This is something that can be done all in a span of just a few days in the vast and always inspiring prefectures of Aomori and Akita. But first, we're going to briefly talk about your best options to get you to the action in this very special corner of Japan. Despite being found at a fair distance from Tokyo, both prefectural capital cities of Aomori and Akita can be reached by the Shinkansen high-speed rail service in a reasonable amount of time. Aomori is served by the Tohoku Shinkansen, while Akita is serviced by the Akita Shinkansen, which is a route branching off of the aforementioned Tohoku Shinkansen. High-speed rail would arguably be the preferred way to reach either region, but flying is also an option, with regular service to airports such as Aomori and Misawa airports for Aomori and Akita Airport for Akita, and with flights to mainly Tokyo and Osaka on the main carriers of Japan and other airlines. Assuming your destination is Aomori Prefecture on the bullet train, reaching the actual city of Aomori would have you passing by Hachinohe on the way. Being an entry point to Aomori Prefecture, there are reasons not to skip the city of Hachinohe and make it a part of your itinerary. If you're visiting and traveling on a JR rail pass, Hachinohe can definitely be considered as a base to explore the rest of the prefecture. It shouldn't be too difficult to find bargain accommodation options, either at Hachinohe or Aomori cities, during any time of year, with the exception of the summer festival season. We've previously stayed right beside Hon Hachinohe Station. One of the touristy things that can be done in the city of Hachinohe is a very unassuming dinner cruise of the Niida River. Hachinohe is a port city with a couple prominent rivers passing through it. You can enjoy a freshly cooked seafood meal with locally sourced ingredients on the Niida-maru cruise boat, served on low tables set up with tatami mats. you'll be treated with a port scenery of industrial character with locations that appear surprisingly beautiful when illuminated at night. Be sure not to miss a famous treat of the area of Hachinohe, Nanbu Senbei, which are crackers enjoyed on their own, as a side with meals, or featured in many creative snacks. They can be found pretty much anywhere here, and what makes the crackers unique from the rest of Japan is that these are not rice-based, but instead use wheat flour as the base ingredient. Common toppings include sesame, peanuts, or even dried squid, which can really change the character of the treat. The prefectural capital city of Aomori is extremely famous for its impressive and widely popular festival event, Nebuta Matsuri. This is a yearly, week-long celebration on the streets of town, featuring huge lantern floats depicting colorful mythological beings and historic figures. Now, one thing to note about Aomori is that it's not necessary for you to be here on that particular week in early August to be able to have a taste of Nebuta Matsuri. At most any other time of year, you can come over to Nebuta Warasse. This is a permanent museum entirely dedicated to the festival celebration, and they have several of the festival floats on display here. The museum also hosts a regular music performance throughout the day, so there's every chance to get a good feel of the world-famous event, no matter when you come to Aomori City. The remote and secluded Shimokita Peninsula of Aomori Prefecture is definitely a lesser-known area, and the site of one of the biggest hidden treasures in all of Japan travel. The very first thing you notice on your arrival at Osorezan is the sharp, pervasive smell of sulfur. Osore is a Japanese term evoking feelings of dread, fear, and anxiety. Despite the ominous name for this location, Osorezan is a serene and peaceful place of incredible beauty, the site of a Buddhist temple complex featuring incredible and supremely cool-looking Buddhist statues. The signature landmark is a very unique and peculiar area of volcanic sediment and rocky formations that looks desolate like the lunar surface. With this imagery, Osorezan is regarded as a gate to the underworld. It's traditionally a popular pilgrimage spot for mourning mothers of children who pass prematurely in hopes to receive closure for their souls. However, most people visiting today are arguably there for an uplifting sightseeing experience with a serene natural background that includes a sandy beach, a bright blue lake, and mountains covered in dense greenery. This spectacular spot in northern Aomori, Osorezan, will also be designated as one of our japantravelsmart top locations in all of Japan. This is our very own designation for a select list of attractions receiving our utmost recommendation. It is a bit of a side trip, but you can set aside a day to see Osorezan from either of the earlier mentioned cities of Aomori. The JR Ominato rail line can be taken to Mutsu City out in the peninsula. From there, public bus service is available to reach this ethereal Buddhist retreat. Hirosaki City in Aomori Prefecture is a castle town unlike other castle towns, and here's why. If you go see Hirosaki Castle, you will notice a main castle keep that is misplaced away from the stone foundation. The current castle keep is a smaller structure dating from the 19th century. In order to bring about important and necessary repair work to the foundation of Hirosaki Castle, the entire 3-story main keep was lifted and lopped off its stone platform, with repairs continuing over a decade's time. Simply incredible. It's still possible to enter and go up the main keep while repair work is ongoing. You can also watch time-lapsed footage of when the castle was moved on location. Aomori Prefecture is famous for its production of apples, and Hirosaki City is the place that wears this fame closest on its sleeve. Be sure not to miss the apple pie here. Look for red banners in front of shops, cafes, and confectionaries all over town to know where you can find apple products. Or grab a brochure from the Tourist Information Center to get a hold of a comprehensive apple pie guide map for the city. Our suggestion is to pick a neighborhood at random and make it a focal point of your quest for baked bliss. Now would be a good moment to bring up something really neat about being a visitor to a part of Japan like this, especially in the cities that we've been mentioning, and also the ones that we will talk about for Akita Prefecture. Being here is a golden chance to score great finds at thrift stores and secondhand shops for those of you who are interested in collectibles, things like retro gaming, goods related to fandoms and character merchandise, as well as electronics. You see, going to similar stores in places like Tokyo and Osaka, you're going to be sifting through shelves that have been much more combed over, and you should also expect goods to be priced up significantly. But if you take the time to see stores around the Tohoku region, you'll be able to more easily find rare merch and neglected treasure at a bargain. We've made some of our most incredible finds in Japan this way. Some of our favorite thrift chains found in Tohoku are Yorozuya and Mansaido, so definitely give those a try when you're out here. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that all these thrift stores are more often than not spread out anywhere in the city. It's going to be much more convenient to have your own rental car to get around if you're going to make a serious run of thrift stores in the region. We want to talk about how we traveled in style to our next featured prefecture in this episode, from Aomori to Akita City. For this trip, we opted for one of JR East's most established excursion train services, the regularly scheduled Resort Shirakami. This train runs without hurry on what is considered one of the most scenic coastal routes in all of Japan. You'll have great views of the imponent Mount Iwaki on one side, and a long stretch of scenic coast to admire on the opposite side. The train cars feature unique seating arrangements which makes it very suitable for and popular with groups. If you happen to forget to pick up an Ekiben lunchbox to enjoy for this train trip, and you totally should be, you will be able to purchase a set on board on the dedicated sales counter car. Be sure to ask for their recommendation. If you don't remember how to ask for a recommendation, be sure to listen to episode 12 of the podcast for better Japanese travel that I actually use. The Resort Shirakami will always make a sightseeing stop at a key location en route, Senjojiki Coast. Check out the curious rock formations and get up close to the waters of the Sea of Japan to put a bow on an unforgettable excursion. Akita Prefecture and Akita City in northern Tohoku are perhaps most famous for the popular Akita dog breed and for Namahage, a popular folk tradition that involves men dressing up as scary ogre deities and showing up at night. Despite their irresistibly cute looks, Akita Inu are strong work dogs, traditionally suitable for hunting large game. Their thick fur comes in colors ranging from white to brindle. These dogs are smart and protective of their family, but they also require experienced handling due to their independent nature. Locals in Akita City really do take pride in the breed, as it represents regional values like loyalty and strength. The most famous dog in Japan, Hachiko, was of this breed. Speaking of sources of pride for Akita residents, many families participate in or host Namahage visits most commonly done during New Year's, and the ritual is celebrated with sake and food offerings to appease the visiting demons. The typical Namahage getup consists of red or blue masks, straw clothing, and knives. They show up to admonish lazy or disobedient behavior, particularly in children. The ritual is inspired in Shinto and agricultural traditions. Namahage are ultimately meant to bring good fortune and drive away evil spirits in hopes to bring about a prosperous new year. You can find out more about Namahage by heading to Oga Peninsula just outside Akita City. There is a Namahage museum there where you can go and get more insight into the intricate craftsmanship of the masks and costumes. We've also been here to Akita Prefecture to experience one of the best fireworks spectacles the country has to offer, which is none other than Omagari Fireworks Festival, held on a single day in late August at the city of Daisen. Omagari is a convenient stop on the Akita Shinkansen, but here are a couple of things to note if you intend to plan your own trip. You should book your accommodation for the day well in advance, and you should consider cities like Akita or Morioka to get back from the festival. With that being the case, you will definitely want to book your Shinkansen tickets the moment they release, exactly 1 month in advance to the departure date. We are really not messing around with this advice, because reserved seating spots on the evening trains to get out of the festival will fill up quickly. Thankfully, JR East makes reservations in advance actually possible to do for overseas visitors via their online reservation system, and advanced reservations can also be done with your already purchased JR and JR East rail passes. The other thing to note for this fireworks festival is that you'll definitely benefit from securing your own spots at the vast paid seating area to view the actual fireworks up close from the river bank. You will need to also secure those tickets in advance, and if you're unable to apply for them directly from the domestic ticket distribution setup, we'll also suggest a travel package from popular third-party travel sales site Klook. Be sure to plan for a summer event like this well in advance. It'll be well worth it for the best experience of an amazing hours-long show with accompanying popular music. If you're still not persuaded, or if you regard the visit as too much trouble, be sure to look up pictures of the Omagari fireworks event online. A truly unforgettable festive evening in Akita Prefecture. Kakunodate in Akita Prefecture is a historic castle town that offers a good glimpse of the country's feudal past. The castle does not survive, but instead you'll find a perfectly preserved samurai residence street and merchant district. Bukiashiki is the location to check out numerous former residences of samurai families. The houses, some of which open to the public, feature architecture from the Edo period and contain samurai artifacts like armor and swords. Some of the houses in the district are still occupied by samurai family descendants, which is pretty remarkable. Imagine being an actual descendant to the esteemed samurai class and having the most obvious means to prove it. Kakunodate is also directly on the path of the Akita Shinkansen and is best visited during the spring blossom season. We wrap up our exploration of Akita with a visit to an inconspicuous and removed mountain hot springs location past Tazawako Lake. To be able to reach the diverse bathhouse locations of Nyuto Onsen, you will want to transfer from the highly useful JR Tazawako line and take a bus serving the hot springs area, for which a half-day trip is not hard at all to do. Some good advice we can offer here for any day tripper to Nyuto is to definitely bring your own towel to dry with, because if you need to rent a large towel in addition to purchasing a small one like we suggest, the total cost with day trip admission quickly adds up. Nyuto Onsen is one of the more uncommon, highly traditional hot springs locations in Japan, where it's possible to share specific public baths with your significant other of the opposite sex. If you're spending a night at Nyuto and want to use different bathhouses, there's an all-access day pass available to purchase that also covers local shuttles to get around the area, so it can be a pretty good deal if you can fully take advantage of it. We warmly encourage either an abridged introductory visit or a thorough exploration of Aomori and Akita to add a completely different flavor to your Japanese adventure. From Aomori's supremely solemn Osorezan and the world-renowned Nebuta Festival to Akita's Instagrammable coastal areas and the massive Omagari fireworks event, these are just some of the numerous possibilities to achieve an authentic Japan travel experience in the north, where you'll be sure to find not only the tradition, nature, or heartfelt hospitality that you're probably expecting to hear about, but also something entirely unique and worthwhile. A truly worthy example of a hidden gem, which is a phrase that seems to be thrown around a bit too easily these days. Japan Travel Smart doesn't have to end here with this episode. Connect with us on social media. Find links in the show notes. Take just a moment to leave us a rating, especially if you're on Spotify. Or take just a minute to write some kind words as a review on Apple Podcasts. That would be so great of you to do. We do appreciate that bit of help. My name's Johnny, and I'm signing off with your reminder too. Above all, be smart, and everything else will fall in place.